Hi and welcome. Martina here with another fun and easy mixed media-ish project for Crafty Meraki. I have a piece of cardstock. This is a regular but quite good quality cardstock, and I sprayed water from both sides to the paper because this helps to prevent the warping slightly. I am coloring the paper with my MintMagical Sifters. I prepared the Moray eel mint, octopus eyes aqua, and sea turtle teal. I ended up not using the yellow color because I thought it just doesn't work with all the other colors I already have on my paper. You see, I'm just adding the powder to the paper, and if I think the magic of the water and the powder isn't enough, I just use a brush to slightly move the color around. Then I just put everything aside to dry. In the drying time, I have cut a tag. This is the Moray tag die from Crafty Meraki, and I am adding some pencil lines to my tag because I will be stamping on it. And as my straight is usually wonky, I am going the secure way and add my helping lines. I have a stamp which I have cut into two parts. This is from the Christmas Miracle stamp set, and it says, "Every Christmas is merrier because you are a part of it." And I have cut the part under it away so I can just stamp it repeatedly onto my tag. And I absolutely love the look of these first, second, and third generation imprints. And just for the fun of it, I am adding a clear embossing powder over the, well, no more really, but still slightly wet stamping ink. And this helps to, well, at least for sure, the first generation imprints to heat emboss them so they have a slightly shiny and raised optic to them, which is just a small tiny detail in the background I absolutely love. And of course, when the embossing is done, you have to make sure that you are getting rid of the helping lines, so just erase them and you're good to go. Because I wanted to have a slightly more sturdy tag, I glued it onto a second die cut piece and just glued them on top of each other and put something heavy on it to make sure it dries very, very flat. My colored paper is dry in the meantime, so I can go in and use all the Spruce up die cut pieces on it. But first things first, I thought it would be fun to add some distress watercolor pencil splattering to the background. For this, I'm using the Cracked Pistachio and Peacock Feathers pencils, and I'm using just a very wet brush on the tip of the pencils, slightly rub over the tip, and then just splatter the color onto my tag and put it aside to dry. In the drying time of my tag, I'm gluing the Spruce Up tree together. If you watch the dies carefully, you see something like a middle line within the patterns of the tips of the trees, so you can just line it up properly. Because I always like to add some dimension to my projects, I'm using some foam adhesive strips on my tree to glue it down. Just, yeah, I think it adds more interest to a project if you have raised objects on it. And as always, I'm not sure where to place it, but I decided to put it into the center of my tag. Then the next difficult part was to decide which sparkle or shiny objects I will be using. I've been thinking of randomly placed sparkly bits, but I have also thought of maybe something like a garland attached to the tree. But I finally decided that I will be using the Crafty Meraki sparkles in Prismatic green color, I think. And I'm using just a belly art glue and my picker tool to randomly add these sparkly bits to my tree because I think this looks like a decorated tree, like you added the decorations randomly. And I mean, it's Christmas time, so there's never something like too much sparkle. To end it up, I'm using a vintage silk, and I'm just making a big bow on the top of the tag. And I think this is a fun detail, which you can also use to just add the tag to a present. I am finished with my tag. I really like it, and I really hope you feel encouraged and inspired to get creative, and I hope we see us soon in the next video. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye.